kind of a busy day today. It's a big Sunday at church. I attend the Unitarian Universalist Church, and one of the big services that we do every year is kind of at the end of the school year / season. We have what's called a flower communion, where everyone brings a flower and they all go in vases on the altar. And then later in the service, everyone comes up and takes a flower that they did not bring. And it's a way to remind ourselves of our connectedness to each other, even when we're apart, since a lot of people are traveling or just aren't able to attend service in the summer. And then there's a potluck afterwards, and so I'll be running around down in town for several hours. But then when I get back, Devin, Lord love him, had issues with the skid steer yesterday, so he wasn't able to get out to help me with the bridge. But he said he can come this afternoon, so we're going to go on the assumption that he'll be coming this afternoon. And I want to start getting these vegetables in the ground. I think they're getting really stunted being stuck in these little cell pots. And I just need to get dirty and knock it out and get it in the ground. I won't put the peppers out yet, but I think I am going to put the tomatoes out. And then I've got a million onions to just stick in all over the place. I had planned to just use them as lining along a bunch of the different beds instead of having a specific place for them. But when I had that accident with the spinach and Chinese green seeds, I decided I was just going to use the middle part of that plot, so it's a 16-foot square area, and put a bunch of the onions in there to give them a specific spot. The sickle I got at a community yard sale in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania 2 years ago, I guess now. And I want to try and sharpen it. I don't know if I can sharpen this by hand because it's in pretty rough shape. The handle is gorgeous and it's obviously seen use, but it'd be very helpful, especially when I have to go out to the beehive, because I'm not looking forward to trying to mow around the beehives because the sound makes them very angry. And I think especially since I have an electric mower, or I will, it's even more of a buzz noise, which I think aggravates them. So if I have the sickle working, then I can just hand cut and not piss them off as much, which is much preferable. So for right now, I'm going to get my flowers picked to take to service, and I'm going to get on the road, and I will see you back here this afternoon. So, nothing's ever a small job. Devin finally came around dinner time with his track loader, and he moved a couple of logs that I asked him about moving, but then he started carving out the embankments and moving dirt, and it's become a bit of a project. It's going to be great when it's done, and I think what he's doing is appropriate for what I need there. It's just more work than I expected, but boys and toys. I'm not sure how much of it is he just wanted to use his track loader, but it's okay. It'll all be fine. So he's going to come back tomorrow morning to finish digging out the creek and the embankment so that the logs fit level, and he's going to pick up the plywood to make the decking. So that'll all be good, and then I'll have that done for when the mower comes back. So today ended up being kind of a bust because I had to spend so much time waiting for him to come. But we had a lovely day at church, really nice service, and it was good to be with that community. And I took a lot of naps when I got home, and I guess I needed that. Every once in a while, you just have to, even when you're working so hard and you're eager to get stuff done, you need to take breaks every once in a while. And if that means taking a day to just take naps, then that's what you've got to do. So the stuff that I was going to get done this afternoon will get done tomorrow, and it will all work out exactly the way it's supposed to, and I'm not going to get stressed out about it. I am going to water the plants out here, and then I'm going to go watch some TV. I will see you all in the morning. Good afternoon. We had a lovely damp morning after a bit of a rain last night, so that felt good. But it's going to be 80 today, so it's already feeling really muggy. But that doesn't mean anything because I've got to get some planting done. But I have 10 trays of seeds and seedlings that need to get planted, and it's feeling incredibly overwhelming trying to figure out what to do and when to do it and where to do it, and so I've spent the morning angsting about that. So I did what I always do. Whoop, runaway wagon. And I made a list. So I took my diagram that you guys may or may not have seen, and I made a hierarchy of what needs to get done when. At least order. Most of it is, this is the stuff that's the most fragile, or this is the stuff that's gonna outgrow and go to seed fastest, or this is what can or can't go out in these temperatures. So I'm gonna get started on that today on my lunch break. Devin, my handy guy, is coming back this afternoon to work some more on the bridge. Oh good, the kitties have joined me. He's not coming until later this afternoon. I have to go to the dentist this afternoon. So we're just gonna get as much done as we can and just pick away at it piece by piece. So there's some weeds coming in this bed, so I'm gonna clean that up and edge this a little better so that this grass isn't going to seed here. And then I've got some lettuces that I bought and some radicchio from my bee mentor, Steve's wife, that I'm going to put in here, finally. Thank you, Julie. I appreciate those. So let's work on this one first and then talk about where we're going next. I got those lettuces planted and a bunch of scallions along the one side. And I'm going to do another batch of scallions along the other side. The cabbages and cauliflower are also going to get scallions. The tomatoes are getting carrots. The peppers are getting onions. There's going to be a section of the leek bed and I got leeks and Brussels sprouts in that bed, and I just decided I'm going to take the whole middle part of that to do my red onions, and my yellow onions are going to go in with the broccoli. I need more garden space because I don't have enough room for all these onions. And the reason I didn't dedicate a bed to the onions and instead decided to interplant them in with a bunch of the other things is that they are a natural deer repellent. Deer don't like the smell of strong smells. So herbs, alliums, I've got garlic chives to go in around the fruit trees. Yeah, I could put garlic out there. It's too late this year, at least if I actually wanted to harvest anything. But, so that's the whole purpose of that. I'm a little disappointed with my salad bed because the radishes should be about ready to harvest by now. They take about 20 days. And I think it's been 12 now and there's hardly anything up. But I am seeing, I don't know how well you can see this, something's nibbling at them. So I don't know if I need to put out slug traps or, because I have found slugs and snails around the property. Time to start thinking about ducks. Ducks are great because they'll eat the slugs and snails and won't eat your garden. But that is not a concern today. I am not dealing with ducks right now when I've got a whole dining room full of chickens. On the chicken front, unfortunately, I have a bit of bad news. Mr. Fluffyfoot did not survive the night. I'm kind of disappointed because I was looking forward to finding out what he was. I think he was a cochin, probably a black cochin. But I told you he wasn't looking great when I got him. He looked a little better first day, but yesterday he was back to looking kind of weak and wobbly. And when I checked on him this morning, he had departed this mortal coil. So the homesteader motto is, anytime you have livestock, you have dead stock. And he had the honor of being my first dead stock. So travel safely, Mr. Fluffyfoot. The others all seem to be doing great. The cats could not care less about these chickens. Both of them have gotten in there at various points, and they're both hunters. The first day that Molly was outside, she brought me a mouse. So it's not that they're not hunters. They aren't interested in these chickens, which I'm fine with. It makes my life that much easier. All right, I got to grab some lunch, get back to work. And I don't know, it looks threatening, but it's not forecasted to rain this afternoon. So we'll see what it looks like when I come back out. All the brassicas are in except for the Brussels sprouts, which I'm still trying to decide what I want to do. I've got 4 spaces in with the cauliflower and cabbages. I could put them in there. I could put them where I originally intended, which is going to give me 6 plants at the end of that bed there with the leeks. I could tuck them in with the broccoli. I don't know, I could stick them in somewhere else. I have a lot of Brussels sprout plants, but not a lot of Brussels sprout space. I also have half a dozen, maybe a little more, kale plants, which I realized I didn't put on my garden plan. So I could tuck those in with the cabbage and cauliflower. Or I could put them in the flower beds because they're red Russian kale, so they'd be pretty and fill in some space up here. But I'm out of time to make those decisions right now. I have to get cleaned to go to my dentist appointment. Mouth is numb. I can't eat anything for hours, so let's plant some more in the garden. I heard from Devin. He picked up the plywood that we need for the deck for the new bridge, but he ran out of time and isn't going to get over tonight. He's going to come over tomorrow morning, so we won't have any excitement on that front tonight. But let's see what we can get in here tonight. What have I got left? I got that broccoli and I've got all the onion. Let's work on the leeks. progress. I didn't get everything done, but I got a big chunk of it done. So I still have to do the yellow onions. I still have to do the peppers and tomatoes. And then I've got to do all the stuff that I'm starting from seed. But I'm more concerned about the things that I started already that are getting cramped or dying off because they don't have enough room and enough food. So now that should be resolved. It would be great if it would rain again tonight, but I don't think it's supposed to. So I put everything away safely in the greenhouse. Oh, hello. There's Mr. Gimli, who's hiding under the porch. All the tender stuff I put away in the greenhouse just so it'd be safe overnight. The cold hardy stuff, the Brussels sprouts, the onions, I just left those out and I'll deal with those. We'll get those in the ground tomorrow. Or the stuff that I've got extras of, I'll find somebody who hopefully could use. I've got some about 35 red onion starts, and I've got a bunch of leek starts. I really went overboard on the leeks because my math is bad. And of course, when I was planting it, I had a completely different plan for how the garden was going to be laid out. So that's okay. It's better to have extras than not enough. Tomorrow, we'll get the peppers, we'll get the tomatoes. Tomatoes are another thing that I went way overboard on, so I'm definitely going to have extras of those. But I'm going to put in as many of those Costaludos as I can. I want to do at least one whole row, which would be 10 plants. And then I've got 12 other varieties, 7 plants of each, except I've only got 30 slots, so that math don't math. So I got to figure out what I want more of. But that'll be a fun project for tomorrow. I'm going to, I'm starting to feel my mouth again. So I think it's safe to go in and eat something. I think I've got some mashed potatoes left in the fridge. I may go with that. But, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye.